Hi, thank you for joining me for this review of this Furibee H801 Wi-Fi FPV RC quadcopter drone. Now, about 2 years ago, I got this Walkero Rodeo brushless racer, still one of my favorite quadcopters, and in my review I said it does look a bit like a grasshopper. And now Furibee have brought out this one and they've dubbed it the little grasshopper. So if we have a look, a similar shape. So when I saw this, I said, oh well, I've definitely got to get this and have a look at it. So here we are. It comes in this box. It also comes in an orange color. 2.4 gigahertz radio control. Can do 360-degree flips and rolls. Got LED lights. 6-axis gyro. Headless mode. Return to home. And apparently this return to home is a little bit different. It should return to the remote controller. And has 2 speeds, high and low. If I open the box, it comes packaged like this. This is the remote controller. We get a mount for a mobile device for the app and FPV. We get an instruction manual. We get this bag of goodies. 4 spare propellers, always good to have spare propellers. USB charging cable, plug into USB, plug the battery into the port here. A light comes on and when it's finished charging the light goes off. Your star Phillips screwdriver, and you can get this with 1 battery or with 2 batteries. So this one's already got a battery on here and a spare battery, so it's always nice to be able to get it with additional batteries. So basically a tiny whoop form factor with these ducted fans and guards. It feels quite strong. The camera is a 720p HD camera, not adjustable. The props have got a good pitch on them and are quite rigid and quite strong. Brushed motors, very well cooled. And if we have a look here, quite easy to place a motor, plug and play, so no soldering required, which is very good. And then the battery plugs in over here. This is a little remote radio controller. Both joysticks are spring-loaded. And if you remove the screw here, you supply your own 3 AAA batteries that go in here. And then this just can clip back on and hold without putting the screw back. Power button on here. The button on the top left here. The button on the top right here is to do 360 flips and 360 rolls. This button here, press left to take a photo, press right to take a video. These are the trim buttons. And if we press down on the left throttle lever here, it's auto takeoff. Press down, auto land. And if we press down on the right joystick, this changes the speed. Then this mobile phone mount holder. This goes onto the back here. Can screw it into position, but it seems to hold okay. And then you can just put a mobile phone in here. Got to unscrew it. And then lift it up. Put the device in. Clamp it down. And then tighten it up here again. And it holds in quite securely. Let me just turn this off for now. Now the user manual is very easy on the eye. Good grammar, good illustrations, good details. Gives all the functions of the radio control transmitter, pairing, calibration, flying with the remote controller. Here are the barcodes to download the app, and the app is called Furibee, and you can download it from Android, Google Play or the Apple Store. And instructions on how to do that. Gives the functions of the app too, which is good. And how to fly. So a very good user manual. Then to use the app we need to connect the quad up. So let's just plug the battery into the MCPX connection here. You can see a blue light there at the back and a red light in the front here. So that should be broadcasting a wireless signal now. And then on your mobile device we need to go to settings, we go to Wi-Fi. And then we see UAV and some numbers. Connect to that. So busy connecting. Okay, now it's connected. And we go to the app. And click on connect. And here we are, we've got Wi-Fi FPV. I'm not going to go through all the app functions in detail because it does tell you them in the menu. Now if we power the radio control transmitter on, to bind we need to press up and down, and that's at bound. Then to calibrate we've got to pull the lever down and to the right. Lights flash and there goes solid, and that's it calibrated. And to start the motors we just throttle up. If we want to stop the motors, just throttle down. Now this should have a range of about 80 to 100 meters. Let's see what will happen if it does go out of range and lose contact with the radio control transmitter. Power it up. Turn this off. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004. So in about 4 seconds it'll power down and drop wherever it is. Can we rebind with it if we get closer? Yes, we can. That's a really nice little Whoop drone. Let's have a look at the weight quickly. So it only weighs 36 grams with the battery. It'd be very light. And here's a tip as well. If you ever want to try out FPV with goggles without purchasing goggles first, when you've got Wi-Fi, FPV and a mobile phone, you can get a cheap set of VR glasses, virtual reality glasses or goggles. I'll put a link in the description where you can get these too. And you can get your Wi-Fi FPV up and then just put the phone in here, close it up there, and you can also fly FPV with VR goggles. So let's do a little indoor flight, see how it flies indoors, and we'll also do an outdoor flight and see how it flies outdoors. Although it is very light and will be susceptible to wind, we'll give it a try nonetheless. So bound, calibrated, Wi-Fi FPV connected, all ready to go. Let's try auto takeoff. Down on the left stick. Okay, so it rises up a bit, not too high. Nice and stable. That's the yaw in the low rate. And do a flip. Nice little side flip. Quite a draft coming down from those propellers. Do a roll. Very nice little roll. Maneuvers quite well, and this is in the low rate, so let's put it upper rate. There's medium rate. And this is the fast rate. Put it back down to low rate. Okay, and let's try an auto land. And that's auto land. Let's go and see how it flies outdoors. Okay, let's see how the Furibee H801 goes. So Wi-Fi all connected, calibrated, all ready to go. Start the clock, press auto takeoff. Okay, so going nicely, recording video, take it up a bit more. Okay, we're in the low rate. Okay, a higher rate now. A bit more responsive and a bit of a breeze. Got about a 4 mile per hour wind, but managing it okay. This is the yaw in the medium rate. Okay, now we're in the high rate. Very fast little yaw in the high rate. Do a flip. Hang on. Nice little flip. Do a roll. Nice little roll. Very responsive, very quick, very fast. Not much lag on the FPV here, which is good. Pick it up here. Really quite stable, holding quite well despite the breeze, and it's lightweight. Let's get a close up of the bush here for the camera. Go over here. Really impressed with how well this is maneuvering. Lose it. There it goes. This will be going well. We're going over 3 minutes. Okay. Stop the clock. It landed on nearly 4 minutes. Okay, so that was a disappointing flying time of just under 4 minutes. The first battery still had 3.59 volts remaining, and the second battery still had 4 volts, but it wouldn't stay in the air longer than about 10 seconds. So I don't know, perhaps whether I've just got a defective quad. If something gets a bit warm, then it goes into a fail-safe, but definitely not low battery. So I'll charge the batteries up and try again and do a flight indoors and see how much flying time I can get off a battery in another test run. Yeah, I'm going to do a time trial indoors, but I just want to see what the temperature of the quad is before takeoff. It's about 22 degrees. Start the clock. So keep it in the low rate and just move it around. Now I'm going to keep my eye out. So we're not recording video, but we've got the blue light flashing underneath here. So I don't know what a low battery warning is going to do. Our red light flashing in the front too. I suppose a flashing light indicates, maybe the camera is operational, even though we're not recording video. And we're going over 2 minutes. Okay, 3 minutes now. 3.5 minutes. And now it's losing power on 3.5 minutes. Let me remove the battery. Look at temperature again. So with the battery removed, it's still at about 70 degrees Fahrenheit. So without the battery, about 21 degrees C. And the battery now cooled down to about 23 degrees C. Okay, this is the second battery now. Take off. Okay, so now I've got a solid light because I'm not connected to Wi-Fi. Let's see how long it's going to stay in the air for now. Okay, 1 minute so far. 2 minutes. 3 minutes. Okay, now on nearly 4 minutes, got a flashing light for low battery, but it's still staying in the air. On 4 minutes now. 4.5 minutes, it's still in the air, now it's descending. So let's say 4.5 minutes flying time, not connected to Wi-Fi. Going to remove the battery. Check temperature. So temperature is reasonable, about 20 degrees or 21 degrees, which is fairly normal. Okay, and let's see how the return to home works. So start it up. Okay, just take it away from us here. Okay, give a long press for return to home. But no, it's not going in the right direction. More like headless mode. Go out of it again. Get forward, so it's out of headless mode. Long press. Is it coming? Returning? No, that's headless mode again. Okay, so the return to home doesn't work and come back towards the controller like it should. Can only get a flight time of about 3.5 up to 4.5 minutes, depending whether you've got Wi-Fi on or not. So it seems as though it's got a low voltage battery warning at around about 3.7 volts, which is restricting the flying time. But unfortunately we can't change any settings on it. It does fly nicely, it's very stable and very responsive, but not really suited to fly in a bit of a strong wind, so mainly indoors. And if you fly indoors and you find that a motor is slowing down, always check and see and make sure there's no hairs or fibers entwined on the prop shaft beneath the propeller, because that happens when you fly indoors quite a bit, especially with these tiny little whoops. Otherwise, I really like this little thing. I'm not too bothered about the 1 key return. I don't think it's really important. Hopeless headless mode for me, not an issue. Flying time, fairly reasonable, I suppose, you know, close to about 4 minutes for the size of the quad. So overall, I think it's a really nice little quad.